What's going on, guys? MariK here, back with another Dragon Ball Super video. Yes, 2 in 1 day, because Bandai has pulled a fast one on us, and even though they were doing their little mini reveals every day up until the Friday where they reveal all the cards, they decided that they're tired of that, and it was too much work, and so they just dumped the rest of the cards on us without us really noticing. So luckily we've managed to check the website and see all this, so we're going to go ahead and skim through them real quick and go over any of the cards we might have missed. So first up, we have Kaioken Son Goku Strenuous Onslaught. He's a 3-cost, 15,000 power. His auto says, choose 1 or 2 cards in your life, add them to your hand. When you play this card, it gets plus 5,000 power for the duration of the turn, and at the start of your opponent's next main phase, choose up to 1 of your energy and switch it to active mode. So you get to add a card to your hand, you get to self-awaken yourself, he becomes 20,000 power, and then you get to reset it in energy, so he becomes a 2-cost essentially. Not anything super fantastic in my opinion, but still an okay card. Then we have Son Goku the Rescuer. He's a 3-cost, 15,000 as well. His auto says, when a battle card is returned to a player's hand by a skill, if Son Goku the Rescuer isn't in play in your battle area, you may play this card from your hand. So it doesn't specify if you or your opponent have to return a card. It doesn't specify whose hand it goes back to. So you can kind of play around that to just play this card for free. And then its activate main says, for 1 blue energy, send this card from your drop to your warp. Choose 1 of your blue battle cards to energy cost 3 or less, or up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards energy cost 3 or less, and return it to its owner's hand. So, essentially, you can keep using... You can loop this card with itself to use its ability in drop to warp it, to spin a card, to play 1 from your hand, and just keep repeating the process over and over again. Is it worth just the 1 energy? I mean, you have the 2-drop Blue Goku that we got in set 7 that lets you bounce a card when you play it, and I think he bounces a 4-drop or less, so honestly, I feel like that might just be better overall, just from an energy standpoint, but I mean, this isn't terrible, especially since you can kind of loop the 2 together. Then we have Supreme Technique Son Gohan. He's a 2-cost, 10,000 power. His activate main says, once per turn, choose 1 clone token from your opponent's battle area and remove it from the game. This card gets plus 10,000 power and critical for the duration of the turn. That's pretty powerful. That I might actually consider using in the Android 18 deck. Even though I kind of want to keep it, like, Android-centric, I might run that just because that's a pretty good card. 20,000 in crit, and you get to, it kind of removes your opponent's clone tokens as well, so it lets you get rid of those. That's a pretty neat card. I like this one. It doesn't really seem to actually fit the Android 21 theme, since I thought most of it would be around the androids and clone stuff, but this is, they had a different thing in mind, apparently. Then we had Son Gohan calling for help. I think we looked at this maybe in like the trailer video. We just couldn't really tell what it did. When you play this card, look at up to 5 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 blue or green Son Goku or Piccolo, add it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. So this card has a lot of flexibility, considering how many blue and green Gokus there are, and the fact that there are both blue and green Piccolos as well. I don't think there's many blue Piccolos, but still a pretty solid card for a 1-drop, and I mean, a lot of targets for you to choose from. Only the top 5 is a little bit of an but still be hard to miss right there. We already saw the Vegeta. We already saw this Krillin. Krillin the Cunning. He's a 1-cost, 4,000 power that says, when you play this card, draw 1 card, then for the duration of the game, if the turn player would use the skill of a battle card, X card to switch energy. Oh, okay, so he's the blue version of the other cards that you guys have been correcting me about. Then we have Master Roshi, Masterly Majesty. That's a mouthful. He's a 1-cost, 1,000 power. His auto says, choose 1 multicolor card in your energy, return it to its owner's hand. When you combo with this card, choose 1 card in your hand, but place it in your energy in rest mode. So it kind of just lets you bounce around and manipulate your energy a little bit more. It's okay. It's kind of cool. You could also use stuff like this with other leaders, like even like the Majin Buu leader. Granted, you'd only have like 1 target, the red-blue Majin Buu, or you could even use it with the Universe 7 Vegeta that lets you shuffle all your energy around too for some crazy stuff, I'm sure. The Android 18 we saw, that's a really good card. Android 21, the Ringleader. She's a 1-cost, 4,000 power. Her auto says, if your leader card is an android, when you play this card, draw 1 card, then at the end of your opponent's next turn, play 1 clone token with 10,000 power in your opponent's battle area. Activate main is once per turn. for 1 blue and 1 green. If your leader card is an android, choose 1 Android 21 scheme in your drop area and activate it. So this is the card that allows you to get your field card back. So you don't have to fret about once that card is destroyed, and you don't really have to run more than one of the field card. You can just run like a playset of this Android 21. I think we went over this Frieza before, but I can't remember. Maleficent Technique Frieza. He's a 4-cost, 15,000. Activate main, choose 2 clone tokens in your opponent's battle area, remove them from the game, play this card from your hand. When you play this card, choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards, 3 or less, and return it to its owner's hand. That's a pretty good ability. That's a really good one, especially because you're getting rid of... Well, I mean, you're only getting rid of 1 card by bouncing it, but you're getting rid of the tokens that you're creating, which lets you play them for free, so that's not bad. Free 15k. The Nappa, I'm pretty sure we already went over him. The Maleficent Technique Ginyu, I don't remember if we went over him or not, but he's a super combo. That's kind of sad because I saw a blue Ginyu and I was like, yo, can we run like tricolor Ginyu? But alas, it was not meant to be. The Maleficent Technique Cell, we already went over him. Disappointing. I think that's just about it for blue. There's the field card for blue. We've got Bulma's Advice. I don't remember if we went over that. Draw 1 card, choose 1 of your leader cards, gets plus 5,000 power till the end of your opponent's next turn. That's pretty cool. So that's like a, no, it's a 3-cost. It's not like a Senzu Bean. That's disgusting. Never mind. We don't, we're just not going to talk about this card. Then we have Absolute Release Ball. It's a 1-cost counterplay. If your leader card is blue, your life's 4 or less. If the card being played has energy cost of 3 or less, it's returned to its owner's hand instead of being played. Then choose 1 of your blue energy and switch it to active mode. Holy shit, dog. That's amazing. If you have a multicolored card in your energy, you can activate the counter by choosing a card from your life instead of your hand. That's disgusting. So it's a free counterplay for 3 drop or less. That's ew. Like, I'm going to want to run that in all my blue decks. And I hate it because it's Android 21. But that's a really powerful card. And then my hopes and dreams are shattered for a decent new Cell leader, a new Android leader, a Dr. Gero leader that helps Cell and Androids. And instead we get a Constipated Goku leader. His auto says, when this card attacks a leader, draw 1 card. Once per turn, when one of your battle cards activates Revive, draw 1 card. And then when your life is at 4 or less, you get to draw 1, switch an energy to active mode, and flip him over. And we get Kaioken, Son Goku, Turning the Tide. His auto, when he attacks, draw a card. When one of your battle cards activates Revive, draw 2 cards. And then choose a blue-green multicolored battle card in rest mode until the start of your next main phase. As long as the chosen card's in rest mode, your opponent's cards can't attack leader cards. Interesting. So, if you have a blue-green card and you can keep it alive, your opponent is not attacking your leader at all, as long as that card is alive. So there has to be a good one that's going to be able to defend you. It's going to have decent power. You're going to have the cards to back it up, but that's pretty cool. It's kind of like a Deadly Defender, except multicolor? I'm not really sure what the difference is going to be there. We already went over Wheelo and Cochin. We've got Son Goku prepping for battle. He's a 2-cost, 10,000 power. His auto says, if it's your turn, choose 1 clone token from your opponent's battle area, remove it from the game. When you combo with this card, he gets plus 5,000 combo power for the duration of the turn. So it's going to give you another super combo for the deck. So that's pretty cool. It makes me feel less and less like I can actually build an Android-specific deck with the Android 18 leader. Just because, like, that Gohan is really good. This card is basically a super combo with the clone tokens, so I don't really know that I can, but you can bet your ass that I'm still going to try. This is a good card, though. Then we have Bulma, the Problem Solver. She's a 3-cost, 1,000 power. That's disgusting. Permanent says if you have a red-green multicolored card in your energy, reduce the cost by 2, so it's less disgusting. Auto says, choose 1 red or green extra card in your deck with energy cost 2 or less, place it in your drop area, then shuffle your deck. When you play this card, draw 1 card. Nope, still disgusting. Not a fan. Then we have Mischievous Technique Gotenks. He's a 2-cost, 10,000 power. His auto says, if it's your turn, choose 1 clone token in your opponent's battle area, remove it from the game. When you combo with this card, draw 1 card. So it's basically a combo card that replaces itself and lets you get rid of one of the tokens that you're playing to your opponent's side of the board. Still nothing super grandiose. But it's not a terrible card again because you're generating all these clone tokens, so and they can't combo them to get rid of them. So you being able to use them to your own advantage is beneficial. Although they can just continue to try and punch you in the face with a bunch of little 10,000 vanilla tokens. Then we have Namekian Technique Piccolo. He's a 2-cost, 5,000 power with blocker. His activate main says choose one clone token in your opponent's battle area, remove it from the game, play this card from your hand, so it lets you get a free blocker. It is a 2-drop Namekian that really is not going to be that playable in an actual Namekian deck. I mean, sure, you could get it out with Planet Namek, but then it's just a 5k block. I mean, that's not terrible. It is a blocker, so maybe. I might revisit that. We'll keep that idea tucked away in the back for now. Then we have Yamcha the Cunning. He's a 1-cost, 4,000 power. His auto says when you play this card, draw 1 card. Then for the duration of the game, okay, he's the energy bitch. Okay, moving on. We have a vanilla, 1-cost Oolong, 10,000 power. Then we have Beerus Godly Majesty. He's a 3-cost, 15,000 power. His auto says when this card is placed in your drop area from your hand by a battle card skill, if Beerus Godly Majesty isn't in your battle area, you may play this card from your drop area. So if they discard it, then he comes right back to the battlefield. That's pretty cool. His activate main for 1 green says send this card from your drop area to your warp, choose 1 card from your hand, place it in the drop area, choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or less, and KO it. So, I mean, it's alright. It's a 1 cost to get rid of stuff, but I don't know. To me, once again, like, this kind of feels unneeded, especially because we've already got plenty of cards that do removal, and I mean, sure, you can play them from the battle area. It gives you a 15k vanilla, but I don't know. To me, it seems like you're doing a lot for just a little when there are other options for removal, especially for green. Then we have Masterful Technique Whis. He's a 2-cost, 15,000. When you play this card, choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards, 2 or less, and KO it. That's not terrible. Once per turn, if you have a blue-green multicolor card in your energy, when you play a green battle card other than this card from your drop area, draw 1 card. So if the Beerus comes back, that actually might be, you might be able to combo this card with the, what is it, that Frieza's Healing Pod. That lets you draw cards when you bring green cards back from the drop as well. And then you could just kind of have this infinite loop where you keep drawing cards every time you revive a battle card. That would be actually an interesting strategy. I might have to look into that further. Then we have the Android 21 we saw before. We have Dr. Euro, Fiendish Scheme. It's a 1-cost, 4,000. When you play this card, draw 1 card. For 1 green energy, choose this card and 1 green card in your hand. Place them in the owner's drop area. When your opponent's card attacks, negate the attack. This deck's literally just going to stall you out until they get the 17 cards, and it's really fucking annoying. Like, it just does not seem fun at all. Then there's Dr. Cochin, the Nefarious Scientist. He's a 2-cost, 5,000 power. His permanent says only 1 can be played in your battle area and reduce the energy cost of all Frenzied Warrior cards in your hand by 1. That's pretty gross, because then that means they're going to be a lot easier to play. When you play this card, look it up to 7 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 Frenzied Warrior among them, add it to your hand, then choose up to 1 Frenzied Warrior in your hand with an energy cost of 2 or less and play it. Ooh, so you get to add 1 to your hand, and you get to play 1. So if you added 1 that is 2 or less, then you can play it for free. That's pretty dope. But I don't want to like it, but it's not a bad card at all, especially for that deck. Then we have Kishimi Living Weapon. He's a 1-cost, 4,000 power. When you play this card, place the top card of your deck under Dr. Wheelo's lab in your battle area, and then draw 1 card. So he gets to draw a card for free and place the card under the lab, which is upsetting, but I'm determined that we'll figure out a way around it. Then we have Ibrifia Living Weapon. It's your super combo for green for this set. We have this guy, Living Weapon. Winnie the Pooh on steroids. He's a 2-cost, 5,000 power blocker. Auto says when this card activates blocker, place the top card of your deck under a Wheelo's lab in your battle area, and this card can't be KO'd by battle cards with an original power of 15,000 or less for the duration of the battle. So he can kind of live, and you get to place another card under the lab, and that's just upsetting because it seems like it's way too easy to get cards under that lab for a free auto win that's just going to be a stall deck of boring. Then we have Bioman, Living Weapon. He's a 1-cost, 5,000 power. His auto says, when you play this card, look it up to 7 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 Dr. Wheeler or Dr. Cochin among them. Add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Then we have, finally, a card that has an OG Android on it. The Android Creator. Mr. Dr. Gero himself. It's a 1-cost, activate main that says, choose 1 clone token in your opponent's battle area and remove it from the game. Draw 1 card, then choose 1 of your battle cards and gets plus 10,000 power for the duration of the turn. This I actually like. This gives me hope that I can run an Android-centric deck with the Android 18 leader and some of the new Android stuff. We didn't get enough Android 17 or 18s, or 16s for that matter, but we've got some decent ones from previous sets that we can work with, and this giving one of them 10,000 power and drawing a card is super, super strong. I like that, and I have to have this Dr. Gero card in 4 foils. No exceptions. Then we have the Rise of Dr. Wheelo. It's a 1-cost extra that says, when you activate this card, you can't activate this card for the duration of the turn. Activate main says, if your leader card is Dr. Wheelo, look at up to 5 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 Wheelo or Cochin among them. Add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck. If you added a card, choose up to 1 of your green energy and switch it to active mode. So it's kind of like the Majin Buu searcher from set 6 that lets you look for a blue Buu, add it to your hand, and then you get to restand the energy. So you can only play 1 for free. So you're basically getting the free search, but it replaces itself. So you're only getting to do it for free, and then you could play that card if it's a 1-drop. So that's a really good card, really good staple for the deck. I like that a lot, even though I hate the deck itself. Then we got Dr. Wheelo's Revival. It's a Desire card. So 3-cost Desire card. Activate main says, if your leader card is green, choose up to 1 Dr. Wheelo in your drop area with an energy cost of 4 or less and play it. Why it's a Desire card, I don't really know. Did they use the Dragon Balls to make a wish in that movie? I'm gonna have to go back and watch it because I don't fucking remember. But that's really... Can you use the Dr. Wheelo stuff in like a Shenron deck? Could you use it with a Shenron leader? I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to me. I'll have to come back to that one too. Then we have Hachiyak, Overwhelming Power. He's a 4-cost, 15,000. His activate main says, if your leader card is a black machine mutant card, and you choose 3 cards, 3 black battle cards, energy cost 3 and 7, you can drop area, place them at the bottom of your deck. You can play this card from your hand. Activate main for 4 energy. Says if your leader card is a black machine mutant, choose 1 Hachiyak fueled by hatred in your drop area and play it on top of this card. Ew, 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 and ew. So that lets you play the big guy that we were talking about earlier. That becomes an 8-drop. That ability is no longer relevant because you can play him for 4 energy with this fuck. And since you play him for free, turn 4 becomes the turn you play that card. So, really need counterplays to be able to get rid of this guy. We have Dr. Lychee, Inception of the Grudge. I think we've already seen this card. We have not seen this one, though. Dr. Lychee, the Departed Spirit. He's a 3-cost, 10,000 blocker. When you play this card, place 2 cards from the top of your deck in your drop area. Activate main for 2 energy. Says if your leader's a black machine mutant card, place this card in your drop area. Play this card from your drop area. Okay, that makes more sense now. Not terrible, but... I mean, you're playing him for 1 less energy than you normally would, and you're putting cards in your drop area to be able to fuel, so you can use your abilities to keep playing your Ghost Warrior. Then we have our first Turles Ghost Warrior card. He's a 4-cost, 15,000. He has the same activate main to play him for free. His activate main says, place this card in its owner's drop area, choose up to 1 battle card in your opponent's drop area, send it to their warp. His ability kind of sucks for being our first Turles, but... I mean, people finally got what they wanted, although he doesn't even count as a Saiyan, so I don't know if I would even count this as your first Turles. This is just a tease for you Turles fans. Card looks pretty dope, but I find this to be one of the worst of the Ghost Warriors. Like, sure, you can pick a card that they might want back and warp it, but I mean, you can attack with it and then warp him, but it just still seems kind of dumb. Then we have Ghost Warriors. It's a 1-cost, 4,000 power. When you play this card, draw 1 card, then for the duration of the game, if the player... Oh, so black gets its own energy card. Go fuck yourself. We have Defender God Gardon. He is going to be our super combo for black this time around. I don't remember him at all. Defender Kawaza, he's a 3-cost, 5,000 power. If your leader is a black machine mutant, reduce the cost by 2, so it becomes a 1-drop. Activate main, burst 1. Place this card in its owner's drop area, draw 1 card. I don't want to. Like, that seems like a filler card, and that seems like a complete waste of energy to just draw 1 card. Then we have Destron Gas. It's a 1-cost activate battle. If your leader card is a Hatchiat card, it gets plus 10,000 power for the duration of the battle. Then choose all of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 1 and place them in their owner's drop areas. Again, targeting battle cards of 1. Like, that's not doing a whole lot. Like, the plus 10,000 battle power for the battle is cool, but that's another useless ability. Then we have the Ultimate Blow. It's a 1-cost counterplay. It says choose up to 1 of your battle cards and gets plus 10,000 power and revenge for the duration of the turn. That's kind of interesting, especially because you can give it to your little blocker dude, and then your little blocker dude will have revenge, and they're not going to really want to attack unless they are okay with losing one of their cards. Then we have Super Kamehameha. It's a counterplay that says if your leader card is black and your life is 4 or less, if the battle card being played has energy cost of 3 or less, it is sent to its owner's warp instead of being played. That is dope, and that is going to be so good in black cards. We finally got a black counterplay card, and 3 or less, and you get to warp it. Now you have to be at 4 or less life, so you can't just play it, immediately, which kind of sucks because it still puts black at a disadvantage. But that's a pretty cool card nonetheless. Then we have a blue-yellow hit, rapid movement. He's a 4-cost, 20,000. Says if you have a blue-yellow multicolor card in your energy, reduce the combo cost of this card in your hand and battle area by 1, so he becomes a free to combo. When you play this card, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, place it at the bottom of its owner's deck. That's really annoying. Like, that's really annoying just because, like, you can choose anything. There's no restriction on that. That's going to be kind of annoying. Thankfully, he doesn't do anything else after. Then we have the last card yet to be revealed. It's Supreme Technique Sun Goku. He's a 4-cost blue-green, 20,000 power blocker with a rival for 1 blue energy. His auto says, choose 2 clone tokens in your opponent's battle area and remove them from the game. When you play this card, your opponent chooses 1 card from their hand and places it in the drop area. It's not terrible. It's not super grand. 4 energy is kind of a lot. I mean, if you play him with a rival, then that's one thing. It's not a terrible card, but it's just kind of okay. Alright, so that's going to wrap up the reveals. That should be everything for Set 8 now, with the exceptions of the SPRs and the Secret Rares. So, of course, all the Super Rares will have, or most of the Super Rares will have their own SPR, and we get 3 Secret Rares, so we could still do a whole video on all of those reveals if you guys would like. But this has been a second video I didn't intend to do. It's a longer video than the one we just finished up. So we're going to wrap this video up here. Let me know what you think about all the cards revealed. My favorite's the Dr. Gero card, if I'm going to be completely honest. Let me know what you think and which of these decks you think might actually have a decent chance to stay competitive. And let me know if you guys think it's worth doing a video on the SPR reveal and the Secret reveal. With that, though, we're going to get the frig out of here, and we'll see you guys in the next video.